Okay, so we are going to add some colour to this drawing now. I've made this one already to show you what the outcome is that we're aiming for, and I'm going to show you how to handle your colour pencils to get these type of effects. If you look at this carefully, you'll see there's lots of blending in here. I've hardly ever just used one colour at a time. Even the sky is blue to white, but we can, by using different blues, we can layer them up to create that effect of it going through from darker to lighter. I have to say, colour pencils are not my favourite material to use, but I'm very aware that that's more than likely what you will have at home. We are hoping to deliver some art materials to you in the next week or two, so you will have some more materials, but for the moment I'm just going to concentrate on the colour pencils on this one. So this is my drawing. You'll notice I'm working on some other paper. When I started colouring that other one, I realised I was getting the grain of the table coming through on it, so depending on what you're working on, look at what you've got. So these are my colour pencils I've got. I've had a rummage around, the right motley crew of bits and pieces. You can see how long I've had some of these by how short they are, but they're all perfectly functional, so they'll work well for this. Okay, so I'm going to start with a light blue for my sky, and I'm going to start working that in. See, there's something under there now, you can see that. Pulling through. So I can put that through. You can see I'm going from left to right, keeping it nice and even. That allows you to get a nice even finish. It's dark at the top, light at the bottom. So I will go lighter at the top, dark at the top and lighter as I come down. Doesn't matter if I go over these bits because the blues behind those and the pillars are darker than the sky, so that makes that nice and easy. I don't have to try and colour around those. And then try and get up to that, up that edge. And you would continue this all the way over the other side, okay? So then I can go in with my darker blue. Big one here, but this will work. So this is a bit darker, so to save it, this is to make it show your skills. It's not just colouring in, it's about mixing and blending your colours to create a really effective outcome. We are trying to draw a painting in colour pencils. It's a very difficult thing to do. So we've got to play around with those colour pencils to make them work for us as hard as we can. So you can go the other way, but it's very easy to then end up with a line there. It's quite hard to get rid of that. I found that on the other one that I did. I'm just going to keep carefully working around that. So with this darker one, I'm creating that darker area at the top, lighter as it comes down. And you can, with colour pencils, if they're of a reasonable quality, you can actually smudge them through a bit like that, so you can soften off those marks. I know that's working because I've got a blue finger. Okay, so but do that all the way across. Right, this building, we'll see it's got some really dark areas, but they're not black, they're blue, they're really dark blue, but I haven't got a darker blue. So I'm going to use black as a base, and then I'm going to work into that with the blue. So I'm just going to work on this area here to demonstrate this for you. So going in with that black, dark at the top, see those shadows in there. So I'm not pressing too hard because I want to be able to blend it with something else. And if I don't do it dark enough, I can always go back in with the black afterwards. So I'm looking for those key darker areas inside those windows. So Hopper was very interested in light. He's known as the painter of light. He liked to use light, exaggerate it. He really liked shadows, perspective in these American landscapes that he was painting. So that's what we're trying to show here, and that's why this building has these really strong light and dark areas. You can see where the sun's coming down, hitting the roof line, creating the shadow. Okay, so I'm then going to go in with a darker blue here, and I'm going to work on top of that black that I've got to make those darker tones. So you can see now it no longer has that flat appearance that black gives it. It's now starting to create some depth in there. And I can use that blue just to pick out the areas that are in between the lightest and the darkest areas. And you keep working on that and working your way down by mixing and layering your colours. I've put some yellow in here for the windows. I've gone back in with the black for the shadows in those windows where the shutters are slightly open, and I've layered through reds and yellows and oranges for this ground area at the bottom here. Take your time, think about your blending, lean on another piece of paper.